input for some reason. It doesn't remember it, but that's all right, man. It's all good. All right, let's go live. I'm so pumped up today. I'm so excited to be here. I think we're ready to go. What's going on, everybody? Are we awake this morning? Welcome to Caliber Corner episode number, where are we at? 191, something like that. Today we're going to talk about cases and boxes and hard travel cases and so on for transporting your firearms. Going to show you guys a lot of different options at a lot of different price points. And a disclaimer is that I have no affiliate links for any of these items. I've owned some of these before. We're going to take a look at some of the things that are out there, but I have no discount codes. I'm not benefiting from this at all. In fact, this podcast isn't even monetized. This is just for the sheer love of firearms. So before we get into that, let's go and let the wonderful panel introduce themselves. We had some great discussions before we start. We might just start these chats early. We had like a 15-minute discussion on who makes the best breakfast sandwich. And, we're talking about all kinds of good stuff. But before we do that, let's go ahead and let Defense Dad introduce himself, another fellow Nebraskan. Defense Dad, how is your Saturday morning going today?
Well, for the 22 minutes I've been awake, so far pretty good.
Good for you. If you ever need a wake-up call, I woke up at 5 a.m. If you ever need, 5:30, 5:45, I can do that for you. So
no, I'm good.
Give me a heads up. Okay, all right. So what do you got coming down the wire? You just put a new video up on your channel last night. Is that correct?
Yep, I did. I finally got my butt out to the range and made a video. I hadn't made a video in about a month just because I was on hiatus. Let's put it that way.
Dude, don't worry about it. I mean, I took a week off and said I wasn't going to do anything YouTube related, and actually did some stuff on the B channel for fun and did a little A channel review. So, make sure you guys check out Defense Dad's review of the Vortex scope. Was that 2-7x32? I could be off completely. It was late last night, and I was half awake when I was watching it because I had been on the road for 12 hours. But
yeah, it's a 2-7x32 because it fit on my
lever gun.
Make fun of me, on my lever gun. It didn't.
Oh, dude,
it didn't bump into the rear sight.
I'm doing the same thing with my buckhorn sights. I don't think I could ethically drop a deer at anything past 200 yards. I mean, I would want optics just to do it the right way. And so, if it was within 100 yards, I'd be fine. But I put a scope on my lever gun too. It's just I'm in my mid-40s. My vision's not everything it could be. And so I want to make sure I can make the cleanest shot possible. And I mean, it's all about using the gun for its purpose and getting the maximum amount of usage out of that firearm. So why not drop an optic? I know it's just an excuse to go buy another one and leave the scope off, right?
Yep.
There you go. So make sure you guys check out Defense Dad's channel. Get over there, like and subscribe. He's got a lot of great content, lots of cool editing in his videos. Some of you up and coming YouTubers that want to start a gun channel, you can learn a lot from this guy because God knows I need to add some things to my videos. So
all right, all on a phone.
That's amazing, man. That's amazing. You young people.
Travis,
I'm older than you are.
Travis, your personality is more than enough.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Love you too, Foos. All right, and let's go ahead and move on over to Rich White. This week unloaded. Rich, how's your morning going today? How's it going? How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Okay. This week, a lot better than I was feeling last week. I didn't have a kitten try and kill me this week, so.
Cats, man. If they had opposable thumbs, they'd rule the world. I'm telling you.
The week is very young. Actually, no, it's just ending crap. Never mind.
There's always Monday, man. There's always Monday to start over. That's the way I feel about it. So, so Rich, you got a couple podcasts that you do, and we mention this every week because we do have new viewers that watch this podcast. I try to push this podcast all over Facebook as far as I can, and also on Gunstreamer and stuff. So there's a lot of new people that join in with us every week. What shows do you have to offer on your channel?
Now let's see. On Saturday nights at 9:05 p.m. Eastern, and the channel is just Unloaded Media. You can go over there on Saturday nights and watch a wrestling podcast. We talk about some other stuff too, but the primary focus of the show is going to be like on classical wrestling stuff from back in like the 80s and 90s.
Oh, yeah.
And then we'll also throw in some newer stuff too, because there's been a lot going on with new federations popping up and alliances between different federations and stuff. So it's really interesting. They're starting to, if you remember back in the 80s when they had the territory days, you're starting to get that same kind of feel going on now, but instead of being territories broken up around the country, it's territories around the world. It's really an interesting thing that's going on right now, professional wrestling wise. And yes, we know it's not real. We know it's scripted, but it's just like watching a movie. You go to the theater, you watch a Batman movie. You know that's scripted, but you go and watch it anyway, right?
You know how it's going to end. You know how it's going to end.
Exactly.
It's soap opera for men.
Yeah, it's just entertainment. It's a stunt show combined with a soap opera, basically. Like Foose just said.
I'll tell you what, man. I had the opportunity of watching WrestleMania #1 with my buddy and his family when I was down in Texas last weekend, and God, that just brought back the memories. I mean, it was so awful but fun to watch. You know, it was just cheesy. Man, they had Muhammad Ali as a ref. They had Liberace out in the audience watching. Like, they had all these celebrities there.
But wasn't he the guest timekeeper or something?
He actually jumped in and started hitting the wrestlers.
Yeah, I know.
I wouldn't want to get cold cocked by Muhammad Ali. I don't care if he was 60 years old at that time or not, man. And then I go and look up these wrestlers today, and they're like, well, if you want to have a lot of fun, look up and see what these wrestlers do now. It will blow your mind. What these Tito Santana is a Spanish teacher in California.
Oh, yeah.
Middle school kids.
Wow.
You imagine having Tito Santana for a Spanish teacher, and you're in the 8th grade. I mean, this dude's like this big hulking wrestler guy, and he's teaching Habla Espanol.
There's quite a few wrestlers that have gone into education. You remember Rick Steiner?
Yes.
He's a member of the school board in the town he lives in.
I'm telling you, they're human beings. They're people too, man. I mean, it's just, you just run into them at the grocery store. It's like, hey, what's going on, you know? But I was looking all these wrestlers up while we were watching WrestleMania 1. If you ever get a chance, go back and watch it. I don't know. They're all on some network that my friend has. I can't remember
Peacock.
Which one. Peacock has them? Okay, that's, yeah. We were bouncing between WrestleManias and episodes of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
So
WWE is doing away with the network in the United States, and they made a deal with NBC to where all that stuff is going on to Peacock. They even do the pay-per-views on Peacock.
Oh, man. Okay.
But was it the beginning of April? I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
We did a 2-part show on my channel where we did a watch along with WrestleMania this year.
Oh yeah.
And WrestleMania was 2 nights, and we covered both nights, Saturday and Sunday. We did the watch along thing, and we watched it for nothing because I get Peacock as part of my cable package.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna have to get that after watching it this weekend. There's so many shows on there that I want to watch. So. Now you've also got another podcast that you do. What is that? Did you mention the second one yet?
No, we haven't done mentioned the second one yet. That's
what is your second one?
That's This Week Unloaded. It's on Sundays between 8:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern. That again on the Unloaded Media channel, and we talk a variety of subjects. We'll talk firearms, politics. We've even talked religious stuff before. So it's a variety of topics that we talk about on that show. And
it is a good show.
I've already been researching a topic for tomorrow night already today because there was a story that broke about a racist psychologist or psychiatrist in New York that we're going to cover tomorrow.
All right. Interesting stuff, man. Yeah. You know, it's just these podcasts are great to listen to. If you got any projects you're working on, just pop on a podcast and you can have that playing in the background. Or if you're on the road and you want something decent to listen to because there's nothing on XM, listen to the podcast. That's what I do. So, all right, man. Well, that's good. Guys, make sure you check out Rich White's channel. He's got a great channel over there on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Show a little love. Also joining us, we got Foose or Fuzz, as you're calling yourself this morning. Yes.
Can you swing back to us? We're about to order.
Sure, absolutely. I want a McGriddle combo with a coffee and no creamer, okay? Okay, thanks, Foose. All right, single shot.
Wait, don't forget the blueberry muffins. They're really good.
Yeah, they are. The blueberry muffins and Mickey D's are amazing. We should tabletop review those events, Dad.
Yeah, we could do a budget versus beauty, a McDonald's versus a homemade one.
Otis Spunkmeyer versus McDonald's, the ultimate convenience muffin shootout. I'm telling you, there's a lot of possibilities there. Homemade that'd be pretty dang. That'd be close, man. That'd be close. I like that idea. We'll talk about this later. All right.
We're going back to breakfast sandwiches. You guys don't have sheets up there, but we got a gas station chain. It's kind of like Casey's, I guess you could say.
Oh, okay.
Where they do the MTO made to order stuff, and they have an awesome sausage, egg, and cheese bagel sandwich.
I like them, but they're always so friggin' chewy. I go for biscuit or croissant because you can just drink it. You don't even have to chew it. You just, you know.
Theirs are always perfectly toasted. That's like my go-to if we go to Sheetz for breakfast. I'm getting the bacon, egg. No, not bacon. Sauce. I'll get it right. I'll get the meat right eventually. Steak, egg, and cheese bagel breakfast sandwich. Because they do all those varieties. They have it with the bacon. They have it with the sausage. But the one I get's the steak. It's awesome.
Sure. Let's see. Yeah, I was going to say I got Sheetz too. They're Egyptian cotton. So I got them at IKEA.
No, wrong Sheetz.
I know.
I even got the Tumblr, man.
We could have show and tell. Look at that, man. Look at that sucker's been used right there.
Oh yeah, this thing is well used.
We need to do a show and tell breakfast sandwich episode next week. I think where you got to bring your breakfast with you. And we eat it in front of it and talk about the experience for the watchers, the viewers. So I feel so sorry joining us for the first time. They're like, what in the hell are these guys talking about? Yeah, out there, AWAG says Wawa is superior. I've seen Wawa's menu. It looks fantastic. But I will say this. I went to a Buc-ee's last weekend, and that place, my God, hands down, that place is amazing. So anyway, we'll talk Buc-ee's some other time. Single shot question for you. First of all, let us know about you. And second, what was the title of your most recent video? There's a question from the YouTube side.
What was the last one? It's been a while since I've done one.
So your channel, it's single space shot exclamation point for those watching for it. I don't know why it's so hard for people to find it, but we always have to put the link in because people, when you type in single shot, there's a lot of stuff that pops up. So a lot of single shots apparently on YouTube.
There is.
There's only one single shot, but there's a lot of single shots on YouTube.
Right. And no, I've had so much stuff going on here lately that when I got home that last time, I didn't even get a chance to shoot. I was going to do that. My brother came up for a little bit, and we actually didn't have a chance to get anything going because I was cutting the backyard. That takes quite a while. I got 6 acres to cut there, so it takes a while to do it. I just can't remember, folks. I'm sorry.
I can look it up. I got another computer going over here, so I can look it up, and we'll find out. Because sometimes I have to go under subscriptions to find your page, and then I share it. So. Yep,
no problem. Share the phone number. Share my information, definitely. But yeah, I've got a lot of stuff on the burner, guys. I really do. I've got a lot of projects that I've got to get going, and the number one thing is on the list is starting to do some chronographing with a lot of these calibers that I'm working with, and taking care of my dad's situation. That's taken a lot of time as well. So I'm just going to keep plugging at it, and I may have a couple of the videos for the echoes. That's my opinions, and I most usually will label those. They can or cannot be either one of gun-related issues. Another note that I'd like to do a segue on is with guns and gadgets. Folks, we're getting a lot of interest in this constitutional carry. A lot of it. So Louisiana, Texas just became one.
September, I think is what September something. I think is when it comes to the law. But I know I was down there. I was so excited. I was like, yeah. They're like, it's not yet. I'm like, damn it. Right. God. But they get to go through Oklahoma, Kansas. Yeah.
We're up to 22 or 23 states now, and it's all up to us as being the two-way community to contact our legislators and tell them, hey, we want this. And if they're totally against it, vote them out the next cycle.
People are all about convenience, and convenience might be one of the reasons why people will end up buying a firearm. It's like, oh, I don't have to get an expensive license anymore. I don't have to do an expensive class.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll just buy this firearm and read the manual and go to the range and get some instruction, and I'm done.
Go have some fun.
Don't have to drop $200 on a class and stuff, or a license or whatever. Background checks and stuff.
Yeah.
So, especially whenever $200, that extra $200 will send you from a Sky to a Canic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, for me to get my Nebraska permit, I think it was $100 for the background check and the fingerprinting. They fingerprint you, and I don't understand why. And then, then you've also got the class, which was $125. I dropped $225, not including a gun and ammo.
Right. Mine ran a little bit more, but yeah.
So
there's one other thing too.
In Arkansas, for you to get your concealed handgun license, you have to run the same background check as you are getting an FFL.
It's the same background check all the way around. It's the same background check for my CDL if I was going to go for hazmat. And it's the same background check for my CDL. It's the same background check for just about anything. They don't change the parameters of that background check. And that's what gets a lot of people confused. There's something else too that I want to add to that, to the points that I was making. If you guys have a conference in your area about getting your CCP, go to it. The last one I went to was down in Georgia. We had the Attorney General of the area. We had the Police Chief of Albany, Georgia down there. We had the Sheriff of that area down there. And there was a lot of information that was put out at that get-together. So if you don't have one in there, get a hold of your people and see if they can organize one of these. This is a major help on someone just getting into shooting and interested in getting the concealed carry permit. So that's something that we should be working on as well with the legislators, as well as the law enforcement agencies and Attorney General in your area.
I can see a little bit of backlash from the people that do the classes for concealed carry, especially if you go constitutional carry and the concealed carry license isn't required anymore. Maybe you'll get it for out-of-state reasons, but those instructors maybe should think about offering more beginning firearm owner classes and really get out there and really advertise themselves and go after that market. Maybe have pamphlets next to the gun counter at the gun store, or make a presence at a gun show, or do some local advertising. I mean, we're online for that matter. So
conversation with your head officials in the area is a great help. If they don't know that you've got an interest in something and they don't think about it to create an interest, it's never going to get started.
Yeah, and here's another thing, guys. If you're a veteran, check your state laws. When I went to the sheriff's office, all I do is handed in my DD 214, no class required, and no fee for my permit.
Yep, that's what it was with me.
Okay, real quick, let's go ahead and let Squibby introduce himself so we can keep on rolling. So Squibby, go ahead and give us your introduction, man. Talk about what you do, why we should check out your channel, and give us a little insight, man. How you doing today?
I keep going in and out of bad cell phone reception areas.
It's okay, man.
My channel's about Second Amendment and firearms, but gun people are regular people like everybody else. So I have other things on there because we're not all 24/7 about guns and nothing else.
Yeah.
And don't check me out because I'm just not into the whole sub to me analytic thing. It's nice when people comment on my videos. It's nice when I see that I get a subscriber every week or something like that, but I'm not, I just,
Squib, you can be humble. You can be humble, but you have great information on your channel that, I mean, especially people that are into black powder or reloading. I've learned a lot from it. So, I mean, that's why I want to give you some credit. So, it's not about subs and analytics because we don't care about those things because we could all get shut down tomorrow. But I'm just saying you've got a lot of great information on your channel, so people should check it out.
Maybe, but probably not. I mean, my black powder videos are for people who already know how to use a gun and if they're thinking about getting into black powder or just got into black powder. And then the people who watch have all been using black powder for years and want to challenge everything I put on there. Or my cocktail videos are amateur at-home bartending without professional equipment, without going to bartending school.
And that's how all of us learn at home. Fun. Yeah.
And then people who watch are, all saying that everything in there is wrong and all that. So really, it doesn't matter to me. I've had a lot of people say, why do I bother to watch this? And my response is, why do you bother to watch this? So
you just get bitter people sometimes in the comment section on your videos. You just got to deal with that. I mean, sometimes they'll post a comment that has nothing to do with anything that you even cover in the video. And that's just part of having content up there. People respond however they want to respond. And it gets a little aggravating sometimes. It gets a little annoying, but you just deal with it,
It's all the people that got beat up a lot in high school.
Mm-hmm. Or grade school too. Yeah.
Did you beat those people up, Squib?
The only people I beat up were the bullies that tried to beat me up first. But
then I
get accused of being a bully. But no, the thing is, no, I deal with it. I'm fine with it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't be on. It's like I don't have to make it. So that's what I'm saying. I don't have to make videos. You don't have to watch. So no, don't go watch my channel.
Do not. So that link that I just put over there for Squib's channel on the YouTube side, ignore that. He doesn't want anybody watching his content. Let's see. Names display everyone's names. You mean like on the... Can I display your guys' names on here? Is there some way to make that happen? Or how do I do that? I didn't even... I just thought they came up automatically, so... I don't know how to do it. I'll have to look under the settings there, Adam, because I'm not sure. I thought that they always just showed up on your guys' end anyway. But when we talk, you'll see our names pop up. So that, or maybe you're talking about the names for the channel links, but one of them. So Justin Grimm says, hell, Squib's videos are great. So there you go, Squib. Yeah. All right. And then also, reminder, today's sponsor for today's episode is SS Pawn, located in Lexington, Nebraska. If you guys want to get to SS Pawn, all you got to do is head on over to the Interstate 80 exit to go into Lexington, Nebraska. Take a right, pawn shops off to your right side over there. You can't miss it. Stop in there, say hello to Stan, and SS Pawn will take care of your firearms needs. And not a sponsor, but a cool product manufacturer. We've got the rnldisplays.com AR-15 stand. This is the more refined way to display your AR-15 in the house. And make sure you check out rnldisplays.com. That's part of the New York Outcast project, and they make some really good products, so check them out. All right, so today's topic, since I had a road trip coming up, and, this is kind of an expansion off of what we discussed last week. Last week, we just talked about whether or not, you should, to pack, what do you need to know if you're going to travel with firearms? Is this something you should do, not do? How many of us do that? How many of us don't do that? And that's fine, but there are times when we take our firearms out of the house, and depending on where you live, you might have specific rules and regulations you have to follow. You may have to have a lock case, or have the gun unloaded, or have the gun separated into two parts, or whatever. So I've got just a cool list of all these different cases that I checked out at varying price points for pistols and rifles, and then also some box options for those of you that have to lock your firearms in your vehicle. And we'll go through those, and then I'm going to take that list and I'll go ahead and post it in the description box of my video. And again, none of these are affiliate links. I'm not benefiting from this at all. And I know some of these other channels have, affiliate links and stuff like that, but these are just some options for you. And I took the easy route and just went through Amazon to see what was out there. Amazon's prices pretty much match Walmart, which matches like Brownells and Shields and stuff like that. So we're going to go through those. Before we do that, anybody on the panel, do you guys have any just preferences for when you travel with a rifle or a handgun? Do you guys prefer a hard case or a soft case, or do you have like a nice industrial waterproof case that you use? What do you guys do?
Definitely a hard case.
Okay.
For my ARs, I have I only have a couple of them, but I have the Plano all-weather hard cases. I like those.
That's a nice case, man. I've seen that one in real life. The one that you own, and that is really. You got them for $50 on clearance, is that right?
Or $50 on two of them. One's smaller than the other. You get them on. I got them on Amazon. They were like, one was 65 and one was 75. When normally they're like 150. And they've got the pick and pluck foam, and it's just nice. It's just a nice all-weather case.
Yeah, they've got some really good ones. I've been
using my little backpack here lately just to test it out, though.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah, and you got the back. We'll show off that backpack also here in a little bit.
I got a big Plano case that it was marked down at Walmart back on a rollback, and it was in their discounted section, actually. That Walmarts all have that discount now. It was in the discount now. It was marked down from 50 to 25, and it'll hold two full-size hunting rifles, like 24-inch hunting rifles or 28-inch shotguns. I can get 2 ARs in that thing, my Shockwave, and a bunch of my handguns.
Yeah, you can get those cases are. Hopefully, the one I'm going to show is going to be the same one that you bought or something close to it. So they make some neat ones. Man, there's a lot of comments coming in from the YouTube side. So Gun Snob says SS Pawn is the best pawn shop in Nebraska, and X Adam 1 says I might be going to Nebraska in a couple of weeks. I have to take care of something in Grand Island. I want to go shooting with you. Any issues with suppressors or guns I need to be aware of? When it comes to suppressors or NFA items, I don't know what the rules say about going out of state. You might have to travel with your paperwork with you, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. But you want to definitely check and see what the law says about traveling with your NFA items. As for guns in Nebraska, if you're a Nebraska resident, you can travel with a loaded rifle in your vehicle. You can have one in the chamber and the safety on sitting in the back seat. You cannot have a loaded shotgun in your vehicle. You can have the shotgun and you can have the rounds in a carrier, side saddle, but you can't have any rounds in the tube magazine. And then when you do travel firearms for Nebraska residents, if it's a handgun and you don't have a CCW permit, you do have to have the handgun in sight You have to have it on your passenger seat or up on your dash. If you do get out of the car, you're supposed to have it locked in your glove box. You're supposed to have it locked in the lock box out of reach, if I'm not mistaken. Defense said you can, or I think it has to be in the trunk locked up.
Yeah, trunk locked up in a lock box that's anchored to the frame somewhere.
Yeah, so that really is a problem. If you got a hatchback or you got an SUV, it can be an issue. You've got to have some sort of a hard-mounted lockbox or the cable wire that goes around some part of the vehicle that's mounted to the vehicle body. So for me, like having my Jeep Cherokee, there's a spare tire in the back, and the carrier is bolted to the frame of the vehicle. And I run the lockbox cable through that little carrier, and the lockbox goes right there. And I'm telling you guys this because I don't have that vehicle anymore. So that was an option for me. If you have a little hatchback, many times those loops where your back seats fold down and hook into, you can run a cable through those anchors, those loops that are bolted to the frame of your vehicle. And you can run a cable through those. The cable lock will fit. So if you need to have a lockbox in your vehicle, that's something you should know. If you want to be as safe, go ahead, Foos. Yeah.
Sending something around your seat is always a very good option because that's not going to move no matter what.
Yeah.
It's made not to move.
Yeah, as long as it's in there. And if you really are worried about it, you can store the magazines and the ammo separate from the firearm in two different locations in the vehicle. Say something in the trunk and something behind you on the floor. When I travel, if I'm going to be going through a state where I don't have carry reciprocity or I'm just worried in general, I'll put the firearms, except for my carry gun, which is on me. I'll put the guns in the trunk with the magazines and the ammo in an ammo box behind the seat on the floor. So it just kind of depends on what you're traveling with. So that's a lot of info, but you want to just check out and see what your laws say that you need to follow if you're going to be coming in from out of state. So, all right. Anybody else want to comment on the cases before we just kind of go through the list that I have here? Anybody else want to say anything, what you typically use? Me, I just use a soft case when I travel, unless I'm going to be throwing stuff around or doing like a heavy range trip or a class. I don't take a hard case with me, a Plano case. Yeah.
So whenever I moved, I had, I don't know, 40 or 50 long guns. I just had them roll. I had a blanket down, 3 rifles, folded back over 2 rifles, folded back over 3 rifles, just like that, so they have a little bit of cushion between them.
Big long gun burrito.
Yeah, pretty much. But
yeah.
But as I said, I had 30-ish guns or something like that for it. So.
Yeah, moving is a whole different scenario. I did the same thing. I laid mine in the back of my Jeep. I put the seats in, put a blanket down, laid the guns down, wove them in between layers of cloth, and then put the guns on top of that, another blanket or sheet or bubble wrap, and just so nothing would scratch while I was traveling. But I mean, yeah. And then when it comes to airline travel, you want to make sure that the case says that it's TSA specified or it has the features that the TSA wants on it. Whether it's a hard, like a locking point on it, or it's got a TSA built-in lock, or it has a place where you can,
TSA, they cannot, it needs to be locked, and you cannot be able to bend it or anything to where you could touch the firearm while it's locked.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be a rigid hard case, or it's got. I don't know if you can travel. I wouldn't travel with a soft case. I would never do that because they're going to throw that thing into the luggage carry.
Oh God, no.
No. And the hard cases that we're going to show you,
throw that stuff around.
And as much as I'd love to get a $300 or $400 Pelican hard case, you don't have to spend that kind of money on a decent hard case. A Plano, or I call Plano, great brand for something like that. Allen makes some pretty good cases. And you can get, I mean, I would not skimp on it, especially if you're going to be doing some international travel, like say you're doing a hunting trip up in Canada, or you're going to be doing some interstate travel and it's going to be going through the airline. You want to get a good, rigid, solid case that's not going to break, that's not going to bend or flex. Yeah.
If you go international, don't just check U.S. law, check where you're going through.
Yes.
Like, let's say you're going, for instance, U.S., Canada, and then somewhere in Europe. You got to make sure you abide by all 3 countries.
There's something else too about your luggage when you go flying. That case has to be locked, number 1, and number 2, you have to have a couple of winds of that nylon reinforced tape wrapped over those locks. Otherwise, they'll have you doing it.
I've never had to do that with the locks. I've flown multiple times.
You're lucky. You're lucky because every time we flew down to Arkansas, we had to have it secured in that way.
Now, what were you doing? Long guns? Because mine were always inside of a case.
No, these are pistols.
Pistols? Yeah, I never had to. That's okay.
Oh yeah, the other thing we're going to talk about, I'm just responding back to Gunsnob. We're also going to cover I got a Gray Man series of cases we'll look at, which are going to be gun cases that don't look like traditional gun cases that anybody could purchase if they want to really have that kind of just, I don't know, that type of appearance where it's not going to look like something tactical. So that's something we'll talk about too. So I think we'll go and get into it. I've got a pretty lengthy list here, and I got to be done by 10 o'clock Central Time because I got some stuff going on today. So we'll get started. I did email the panel, and then everybody else, I'll post this list in the description box of the video later on if you want to check any of these out. So we're going to cover some just real simple ones. If you guys that are panelists have any experience with these, just feel free to chime in. So we'll do a little screen share here and just show you what we got. So the first one I have, and the prices on these can vary depending on the size. We've got the Bulldog Cases pistol rug without handles. One of the easiest ways to transport your firearms to the range. Now, again, you got to know about your state and local ordinances, because they may require a locked case. You might have to store the ammo separate from the gun when you travel. It just depends on where you're going. Some of the ranges might require the gun to be flagged and unloaded when you roll up to the firing line. These are nice. I've got a couple Bulldog cases. They're very similar to Allen brand, $9.46. Now, the small one will fit a G17 with one spare mag, but not a lot of extra room. I always try to buy a slightly larger case than what I need, just because you got to take into consideration, say you got an AR and you want to transport the whole AR, you might have a tall riser on it with like a red dot. That might add, 3 to 4 inches of height to the gun, and that could prevent the gun from fitting in your case or you being able to zip it closed. So you want to try to get a case that's going to be suited for whatever you're transporting. I know they make like AR-15 specific tactical cases and stuff like that, and those are designed to give you clearance for optics or even like a front iron sight and so on, versus a long gun rifle case. So guys, I'll just go through these, and if you want to stop and chat about it, just let me know. I'm not able to watch you raising your hands because I'm sharing one screen right now. So just go ahead and interrupt me if you want to talk about it. So this is the first one that we have. And again, I'll post the links for you guys here in a little bit. The second one that I found was the Bulldog Cases Mini Muddy Girl range bag. So if you want to get one for the significant other in your life that might be into the whole, muddy dog camo thing. This one's 11 by 7 by 2. It's more of a squarish design, and I don't know if they have any other photos of it, but they have a whole line that matches up with it. You can also get firearms that match it too. Prices on these fluctuate quite a bit over on Amazon. So heavy duty nylon, water resistant outer shell, inside pockets for magazines and ammunition storage. 11 by 7 by 2. So you want to obviously measure your firearm with the mag. Just take a ruler to it, or a tape measure, and go ahead and see what size you need, and you can go from there. This one's the only size they have in this particular case with this design. So if you know somebody's got the Muddy Girl thing going on, this is definitely one to check out. Okay, the next one that I found, and Chad, I'll be watching you guys on the YouTube side. If you want a little more detail on these, just let me know. Sam of Anarchy 92 says, I've got a Miltek Backpack, which is like a tactical backpack, something a military or SWAT guy would use. Defense Dad says, tiptoe through the tulips. Okay. Lex Green says, the coffin case on Amazon is pretty neat. Good space to organize inside. I might have to look that one up real quick.
That was tied to my previous comment to Snob.
Oh, I thought you were going to start singing for us. A little bit of that Tiny Tim stuff or whatever,
I said he used a ukulele case instead of a guitar case.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, and the thing is, ukuleles are really popular with hipster kids these days. So nobody's going to bat an eye to a bearded man carrying a ukulele case. That's normal, especially in a college town where I live. You see that kind of thing all the time. Here's the Plano 1404 Protector Series. $29.99, big enough for 2 full-size firearms and a couple mags. This one's a little more rigid, gonna offer you a little more protection. And you'll have to look under the Q&A section to see if these are TSA approved, because sometimes they don't list that when they talk about it. Oh, yeah, and most of the Plano items are manufactured in the USA. So that's definitely a bonus to buy that particular brand. These guys, and I think it's MTM, if I'm not mistaken, they're the ones that also make the cases that we sometimes show off on the channel. And boxes and stuff. They make really good stuff too. So we got this guy for $30, and the prices really vary. Sometimes it's a brand thing, but sometimes it's a quality or construction thing that causes the price to be higher, or it's made in the USA. That can cause the price to be a little bit higher. Features on this one's kind of nice. Yeah.
That one should be TSA legal because there's 2 lock points there in the middle.
Yep. And you put those TSA specific locks on them that the TSA has keys for that they can open up. So this might be a good one for you to travel.
No, you don't. You do. No, per TSA rules, you are supposed to be the only one to have the locks, the keys.
Well, then
Do
why did they
not
make? I
put
thought they make a
TSAs.
TSA. I thought they make a TSA specific lock. It's in the travel section. You're not supposed to use
Yes,
those.
they do. That you can put onto your luggage, but for your firearm, you were
Oh,
supposed to be the only one with the key because you don't want them to walk away.
oh, I thought they needed to open the case and check it. They
No,
don't.
you open the case.
See, I've never traveled with a
You're-
firearm on an airline before, so I didn't know what the process was. So okay.
Yeah. So what I did is I bought 4 locks. They're all keyed the same. I used 2 for the lock, or 2 to lock the case. I put 2 more in the bottom. I have a key, and we have extra keys in the case itself for said locks. So that's how I always travel with them.
Okay.
So
Here's a good
only
suggestion. Patriot the Dark says, I suggest checking out your local surplus shop. Yeah, that might be a good idea too. You might find some good deals on some decent military grade carry cases and boxes and so on at some good prices. Because some of these can get pretty expensive, as you're going to see. I'm kind of moving up the price point as we go through these. Next one, Gun Snob says, in all honesty, the Harbor Freight Apache cases are good and cheap and TSA approved. Yeah, Gun Snob says Foos is correct that the no TSA locks on firearms. Okay, so yeah, I hadn't really looked into TSA travel rules when it comes to locking the guns up because I don't know if it was state specific or airline specific. So, and here is the Apache case, which is pretty close to a Pelican brand case. Okay, the 2800 series weatherproof protective case, medium black, $27.99. Okay, this looks decent.
There's a lot of places that sell those, Travis. You can even one of our local gun shops has one that's got their stickers on them. They're like $20 or $25
for this line of case.
Yeah,
the Apache ones. So they have their own. So there's a company that makes them, and other companies slap their brand names on them.
It's one of those that they're a nice, inexpensive one, and a lot of people brand it with their own company on it. Okay. Here's some of the features that you might want to look for. Obviously, the foam is nice because you can pull the foam out or cut the foam out to fit your firearm. And again, pre-drill for 2 padlocks, like Foos had mentioned before. You can put 2 locks on it. You've also got the adjustable pressure relief valve, which is nice because it'll prevent things from getting crushed inside the case. You've got the valve open, so when the airplane would take off or land, some of them, I think the Pelicans have an automatic adjustment valve, so they'll adjust the internal pressure so nothing pops or blows up or blows open or has anything. You happen to have anything that would get crushed. Okay, not that you want to see that happen, but that's another option for you. Yeah.
Very few of these cases are airtight.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no, I haven't seen a hard case with a rubber seal across it.
This one has one, but it just says watertight and dustproof, but it does have the relief valve on it. So it does let the air out, but you never know. Somebody might use like a safe box or something, or use something crazy that, obviously you get different sizes. And so those are pretty, like I said, they look very similar design to Pelican. I don't know how durable the plastic is. They get 5 stars on 1,700 reviews, which says a little something about the product. I mean, it might not be good or bad, but, and again, I doubt that these are made in the USA. So for a lot of people, it's a big deal to buy an American made case, which you can. I don't know if Pelican cases are made in the USA. And I keep talking about Pelican because they're one of the higher end, more expensive cases that are out there. But again, you can always go Plano, which is USA made, and also MTM. Which also makes American-made boxes and cases. So, but this is just another option. So we're kind of going up the price point between the soft cases and the hard cases. Now let's look at an actual Pelican case. So this is the 1200 protector case, and this one's 9.3 inches by 7.1 by 4.1. It's going to be pretty small, but this would work for like a compact pickup. You can get them in various colors. You can get different configurations. So $54.95. About double the price of the Pelican case, and even smaller than the Apache case from Harbor Freight.
I can tell you not in the gun world, but I used to work with a company. We did a lot with like Panasonic Tough Books for the military. Those Pelican cases, they are built more sturdy than the cheaper ones. You do get what you pay for with them. Okay.
This one does have the automatic pressure valve in it. It says balances interior pressure, keeps the water out. O-ring seal. Open cell core with solid wall design, strong and lightweight. Watertight, crush proof, and dust proof. So you've got a little bit of everything. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they're, they might be like a mil spec or they're used by certain organizations, I think it speaks a lot about that particular company's product. But I've never had a Pelican case before. I'd like to pick one up. I think it'd be kind of nice, but I never really have anything super fragile I have to transport. But even for cases, those of you that make gun videos, if you want a nice case for your cameras, maybe consider going this route too.
They are the bee's knees. I have one of these. Maybe not 1,200. I may have one a little bit bigger, but it's awesome.
Okay, so they do deliver. It's not just, you're not just paying for the brand. You're actually getting a genuinely good product.
Yeah, and if you have something with an expensive optic or something like that, or like a real nice drone, you're going to travel with it. For my stuff, I'm just going to and from the range, so I like the other things. But yeah, I mean, we used to ship like $1,500 computers all across the country with them.
Okay.
So,
go ahead, Foos. No? Okay.
So, something with wavy foam stuff that you just set the firearm or whatever you want in. So this, you could pluck it out to the actual shape of whatever you want to put into the container. So.
Okay. Man, I'm thinking for cameras, if you got like a $1,500 camera or $1,000 camera, what's $60 on a nice case to keep it safe when you travel, Because I just have soft cases for my cameras. I'd hate to do an airline travel with my cameras,
Go back to the open image of that.
This guy right here?
Please.
This one?
You're not sharing. Or maybe I'm...
Hey, can you guys see this? Am I still sharing?
He's sharing.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, so it's me. So, if you look at it, it looks completely flat. That's that pluck stuff where you can actually, pluck out the foam of your item. So that's a cool feature. I know you can get that stuff anywhere, but that's cool that it comes already with that.
They're like little half-inch, like rectangular cubes or whatever that you just pull out to make it fit your gun. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's pretty slick, man. So that's a different feature where you don't have to take a piece out and cut it or slice into it or use an X-Acto knife on it or have bigger chunks that that aren't going to fit your product very well. So you got the Pelican option, which again, you got to think, you spent $800 on this gun or $1,000 on this optic, and you're going to do some airline travel, or you got a hunting trip coming up, or you're going to throw in the back of your vehicle or your truck. I mean, some people don't care, and that's fine, but it's always kind of nice to have something to keep your stuff in good shape too. So, okay, then the next one we have a defense dad. You can kind of give us a little bit on this one. Now, this is a range bag, and we're not really talking range bags today. We've already done an entire episode on range bags, but this one was nice because you do have spots to put firearms in it. So what can you tell us about this one, DD?
It's nice. Like those outside pockets that actually have some structure to them, so that does even the stuff on the outside is a little bit protected. Mm-hmm. Internally, it comes with on each side. It's an open case, but on each side, it's got a fitting with a tabletop range. Not really not like one of those Bulldog cases, but it's a folding case with Velcro, so you can stow 2 pistols in there. There's still a lot of space in the middle. Normally, I have 2 or 3 pairs of Ear Pro in there, plus some iPro ammo. It just holds a lot of stuff, and for $35, it's a pretty stout range bag. I really like it. Have
you done a review on that one? I can't remember.
I have not yet. I should. I've had it.
There you go. Yeah,
I've had it for over a year now.
Yeah. Those are definitely cool. And I like Allen products. I mean, they're a good bargain. I mean, I've never bought an Allen product that's been junk.
Yeah, so, I mean they're decent. It's got good zippers on it. I mean, I use it. I have a full tool, like a full small tool case in one pocket. I've got some cleaning stuff in one. Mm-hmm. I mean, just all the stuff you normally have.
Yeah. Mario Mosen said, honestly, guys, buy Pelican. He goes, I use those cases in Iraq. They never had any issues with them. They can handle extreme cold and hot temperatures. So buy once, cry once kind of thing, right? And okay, Gunsnob says, I've got a small Harbor Freight one and a big Pelican, and the Pelican is night and day better. Now, question on this one, before we get to it, Mario says, hey guys, I'm in the market for a backpack style range bag. Any recommendations? Oh, so a couple of the cases I'm going to show you, they do have the backpack straps on them, so you can backpack style your guns to the range with a long case. But when it comes to actual backpacks themselves, do you guys have any recommendations at all for something like that? I mean, we're going to get to that discreet one, Defense Dad, that you have, but I don't know if there's more of a tactical style that you guys would recommend, or a
I think
brand
he
in
might be
particular.
talking more like the ones that have, like, the bottom will be able to stow 4 to 6 pistols, this kind of thing. Well, I would like one of those.
Okay.
So yeah, I was about to ask for more information on what he wants the backpack to do. Is it, I know Double Alpha, they have good. It's a range bag / backpack. It's hard, maybe not hard-sided, but
Yeah.
it's a very rigid side. You could fit like 4 handguns at the bottom and top. It has a space for anything else. It has a water bladder with it. It comes with a chair, place for your umbrella.
Ooh, here we go. Check this out, guys. Look at this. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, those are the type I'm talking about. Some
All
of
right,
them
tactical
like
range backpack. I mean, it's going to be pretty much, Mario, it's going to depend on whatever your budget is. You're going to get more features and get more accessories. This one's got 5 pistol cases that go on the bottom, magazine pocket on the left, large middle pocket to store your gear in. This is...
Moxus one had a video that he did a while back on backpack that allowed you to store different handguns and stuff in it. I don't remember what brand it was, but if you look on his channel, you can get the review that he did on one of them.
This one's pretty slick. I'll just drop this one in the chat real quick if you guys are interested in this one. It is $90, but it does offer a ton of flexibility. And I'm sure you can probably get like a Vertex or some other brand that's like $300. You can spend whatever you want. There you go. There's a link for you guys. Check that one out. Kingpin says Mario is rich. I wish I had 4 or 5 handguns. So anyway, yeah, so that's pretty cool. I just typed in firearms backpack, and that's what came up over on Amazon. I didn't grab any other ones because we were looking at, I mean, that would be perfect for travel, but here's another one. Here's one. Well, this one's $99. So, just filter by price and you can pretty much spend whatever you want. And then some of these larger tactical cases, which we'll get to in a little bit, they have backpack straps on them, which makes it easier for you to transport to and from the range. So guys, there's a ton of tactical range backpacks that you can get. I mean, there's a Pullman case. Look at that. I like that. There you go.
A while back, I can't remember where I got it, but it was like 2012, 2013 time zone or time frame.
Yeah.
I wanted to have a case that I could transfer my full length Mosin in.
Okay.
And the length was crazy because the thing's like 40 some odd inches long.
Yeah.
And I found one that had backpack straps and all that stuff on it. It could carry 2 long guns, had a space for ammo, had space for AR mags, had a little compartment there that you could put a couple pistols in. It was really nice. I really wish I knew what brand or whatever, but I mean, you could get them in all sizes to, from an individual small backpack all the way up to stuff that will hold Mosins.
This might work for you. I have this particular case that I'm showing you guys right now. It's a different, the one that I have is the Allen, it's called like Gunnery or something like that, but it's very similar to this case right here. This one comes in 46 or 52 inches. It's a little rigid. Now, I wouldn't use it for airline travel, but this is a good one to keep your guns or your rifle just nice and protected as you go out to the range or maybe on a hunting trip. This one is really good. Real good foam padding in it. It's got a little bit of form to it, so it's not floppy. It's got a couple different pockets in it that you can use. And I got mine it was at Shields for Black Friday, and I think I paid like $20 for it. But unfortunately, I'm not seeing my bag anymore listed on the Allen website. But this is the closest thing to it. But you can get this one in 46 or 52 inches. So you've got a lot of different options. This might work for a Mosin. A 52 inches would probably work, wouldn't it? I don't know, Foose, do you think 52 would be big enough for you? Might be having some trouble with the cell phone, but it does have a little sling over. It does have a strap over it too, so you can sling it over your back if you want, just for ease of travel if your hands are going to be occupied. So this is the first soft case that I wanted to show you guys. I do recommend this one. Like I said, I've got a version very similar to it, and it's great. A little on the pricey side, but for what you get, it's got a little bit better build quality to it too. So yeah, we're going to get to the guitar cases. Once we get to the Gray Man section, we're going to have a little fun and see what kind of discrete options we got. Okay, and then you got your Plano, and you really got to look at these because the prices on these guys can vary. This one is okay for $24. It's a little flimsy. Would not recommend this for like airline travel. In fact, I've had a couple ARs that came with this case specifically, and I mean it's fine. But if you have anything really wide in it, it does start to like bulge out at the sides. So I mean, I just said if you want a cheap hard case and you want something just to get to the range and back, or for whatever legal reason you have to have a hard case to transport your firearms or whatever, this one's okay. It is made in the USA, and these are you can get this one up to 48 inches in length. And so some of you guys might have purchased these before. You can get these. I've seen these at Walmart. I've just usually see them at gun shows and gun stores and stuff like that. So see, Kevin says 54-inch case for the Mosin, so that might be one option for you. Do they have an El Mariachi rifle case, says Mario. I wish they had one that had guns mounted in it, but not yet. Although I wouldn't be surprised, there's probably something out there that does that. So this one is your Plano Gun Guard SE single rifle case. And again, the problem you run into with this is that if you have an optic on your firearm, it might be a little hard to meet the clearance of the case before you close it. So if you got an AR and you're going to keep it put together and you're going to have, a tall riser on it with the red dot, it might not fit. So just keep that in mind before you order one of these cases. What kind of height do you need? Obviously without the magazine and the rifle, from the top of your red dot or your scope to the bottom of the magazine well or the bottom of your pistol grip. You can kind of position this in the case, but it might be kind of biased towards the rear or the front, if you got to push the whole gun forward or back in order to be able to close it. So,
right.
see,
And also, whenever you're looking for a case, figure out which rifles you're going to put, or what firearms or whatever your contents is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of us don't have a case per firearm.
Yes.
So you have to make sure a case will fit for multiple firearms, or can you get 2 firearms in there?
Exactly. And there's a couple on here that hold multiples. Like I've got a 3-gun case that'll hold 3 firearms, but it's pretty big and pretty heavy, but we'll get to that one in a little bit. This one, you want to look around. This is Plano's kind of higher end case that they offer. This is the all-weather gun case with restrictor is what it says, premium watertight tactical gun case. This one's $107 for the 36-inch model. But I mean, it looks like you're going to be getting a kind of a premium experience here. It does have the blocks you can pull out for the different to make it fit your rifle. And I know this one they show them throw in the back of the pickup truck and stuff like that.
That's the newer version of the all-weather cases that I have.
Okay, I gotcha. And guys, I can't check the chat. Does anybody on the internal panel have a question at all or need to speak?
No, okay? I stepped away for a minute.
That's back. Okay. Yeah, these guys, if you want a good case, I mean, this would be the way to go. I like Plano stuff. I've never been burned by these guys before.
Yeah, they're nice. They're a little bulky. I don't use it all the time, but if I'm taking my ARs, they just fit in there better. And they have that pick and pluck foam.
Now, this says rust preventative vapor corrosion inhibitor infused into the resin and foam emitter. Blocks rust and corrosion 5 times longer than competing products. Interesting.
Yeah, so a lot of this foam will have moisture. Will keep moisture because it's porous, and of course, moisture next to firearms. That's why I never keep a firearm in any type of container whenever it's going to be stored for a long time, because you're just going to pull rust.
Now, this one does have the automatic pressure release valve, and this one does have rust inhibitors in the foam. So that'd be something to consider if you need to do some type of long-term storage. But do understand that you're always taking a chance that you'll pull the gun out. You might have some pitting on it. You might start to get some light oxidation, or the gun could just be rusted because of the internal moisture. It's not being regulated very well. So you can always throw some silica gel packs in here too, just to kind of help out a little bit. Now, Mario Mosen says Costco sells a rifle case that's similar to a Pelican case. Not sure if you guys have ever seen those. So Mario, I've only seen soft cases before, like soft rifle cases. They got a few deer hunting accessories in last fall, but unfortunately I did not see their Pelican style case. That would be neat to check out though.
Hey, Travis.
Yo.
In the chat,
check the email.
Kingpin said he sent you an email.
I don't know if he sent it to okay, I'll have to try to bring it up here. I don't want to get signed out accidentally if I sign it to another email account. So when we bring it back, I'll look for the picture when we get done, and we'll check it out. So we'll get to it, but I just want to make sure I don't accidentally sign myself out of GunTube while we're doing this, because if I switch over Gmail account, sometimes it'll do that. So, All right. Let's see. Moving on here. Here we go. Let's go back to those cases. Let's see. There's the Pelican rifle cases. Okay. The next one that we have is this one. Okay. So this is similar to one that I showed off on my channel. It's big. It's kind of heavy, but it will take 2 to 3 guns in it. And some of these have like a fold out mat that'll pop out that you can lay down on while you're shooting. This one will take 2 full-size ARs with all of your optics on it. They even show these with the magazines and the guns. And these could be airsoft guns, but they are generally using like full-size replicas. So let's see. Kingpin says, I sent it to the show link email. Okay, I'll check that here in just a little bit, bud. And so this is what we have right now. These are nice because you can travel with a couple different guns. You've got the backpacks. If you're going to go to maybe your range is out there a little ways, or you've got a bit of a distance you got to walk, or you're going to be going to your favorite spot, or maybe going to a hunting camp. These are really nice because you got the weight-bearing straps and the backpack straps on it, so you can really lug your guns along with you. This one's only $60. That's not bad. The one that I have was either a 2 or 3 gun case. I think it was about the same price, and mine has the backpack straps on it too, which is really nice. And man, you can put all your gear in here, all of your magazines, pistols, and so on. So that's not a bad deal for only $60. And there may be, like American-made versions of these too. If somebody wants to buy American, there may be companies that offer similar designs to this that are, going to pay a little bit more. Yeah.
I'll just point something out. This, starting next week, the Father's Day sales are going to be hitting. These would be good things for Father's Day.
Oh, absolutely, man. Get a good. I mean, if you got a dad that shoots or hunts, or whatever, significant other, whatnot, this would be something to consider picking up, because you're really not going to not want something like this. I mean, they are big and they are kind of bulky, but just you say you got a 3 gun, somebody competes in 3 gun. It's perfect for transporting your firearms in. Get your pistol, your shotgun, your rifle in there, your magazines, your ammo. It's a little heavy, but everything's contained in one spot. Throw it in the back of the truck or throw it in your vehicle, and you're good to go. So I do know that this case is a little bit too wide. Well, depending on which one you get, like mine barely fits in the backseat of my vehicle. I've got a small compact SUV, so it's a little bit tight. But if you've got a larger vehicle or a good sized trunk or a truck, you really can't go. You really can't go wrong with that. So, well, with like when you lay it across the seat, is it going to fit in between the doors?
Oh, so you mean length?
Well, they call it length. I'm saying like the width of the seat. Yeah, they call it the length, but I call it the width. Okay, yeah, I call width depth, and they call length. Doesn't matter.
Remember, length times width times height.
Will it lay across the back seat? That's a question you got to answer. Right. Yeah. There is a question for you guys that have flown with. Go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, were you talking about length, or were you talking about width because the extra exterior compartments, or what? So
I gotcha. I gotcha.
We had that clear.
Yeah, you can say length if you want to, but just whether or not will it fit across the back seat of your car, you're gonna have to put your seats down when you transport it. Stuff. This one's a little big for my current vehicle, but it did fit in my previous vehicle. So Mario Motion says, question, if you fly with rifles or pistols, does the TSA recommend using certain rifle or gun cases? You guys answer that one?
I don't think it has a certain
you just have to
case. It's just,
yeah.
The case has to have all the features for TSA travel.
Yeah, just make sure you have the specific features that they're going to be looking for. You're going to be able to lock it the way you got to lock it, and be ready for it to possibly be taped up, right? Is that something you can run into? I'm not sure. So here's the Savior. You guys,
check the airline website before you book your flight. If you maneuver around in there, you should be able to find something where they have their rules and regulations, in addition to federal rules and regulations with regard to transporting firearms, ammunition, that sort of thing. That's how you can find out you can have 11 pounds of ammo per bag and stuff like that. Yeah. If they don't show it, they may have a highlighted link to the TSA site, and you may have to do some maneuvering around because there's a government website where you can find specifics on what was said there. Features, not a brand, not a style, but the features it has to have in order to comply. You may find that certain airlines have rules that go above and beyond the federal regulation. So it might be a good idea to check both sites before you pay for that ticket.
Gotcha.
Correct.
Okay, solid advice, man. This is the Savior equipment that a lot of you guys are talking about. Savior makes a lot of different cases. This one is $73, a little bit more, but it does look like it's got some really good features to it. Mine is designed kind of like this. There's a pad that goes in between, except I got a pad that comes out, but you can store a rifle in between it. Yeah, you get a Tommy gun, and I think this is Squib. Squib, you took this photo, didn't you? You got that gold-plated Tommy gun in there, and you got that AR up on the top. Your H&K.
Those aren't my guns. Those belong to New York Outcasts.
Okay.
When we were at the Tommy gun warehouse, he was like, "Gotta have it, man. Gotta have it."
There you go. Yeah, these cases look pretty nice too. So they're kind of run between $60, $80, $100, depending on what you want.
Yeah, that Tommy gun can't possibly be New York legal. It has a pistol grip on it. Come on.
Well, it's New York legal if you're a representative or if you're government official, you can have it.
Yeah, the warehouse is in Pennsylvania. So what happens in PA stays in PA.
Wait, New York Outcast wanted something that wasn't an MEP 2.0?
Here's a picture. Okay, so David, this picture you're showing us here, I'm assuming this is that Plano case. Is that right? The $25 one. So it does fit if you put it in there the right way. Now, with that particular scope, it's going to fit.
Yeah, my stepdad, he's got a really nice Wyndham weaponry. He bought it in about 2012, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
He has it in a case like that, and he's it old Nikon scope on it. It fits, but it's difficult to get it to fit in. You have to do it just right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it does show you that it is going to work. So Kingpin, hopefully this is the one you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's go and see what else we have here. Oh. Let's go to Sense. Okay, going back now to the list. So the Savior equipment looks like they offer some pretty solid options. All right, where do we leave off here? That was the tactical farm. Okay, so here is the Vault 700 rifle case. There we go. I've never heard of Vault before. Maybe they've been around for a while. Kind of like a more industrial style. Oh, Vault by Pelican. Okay. So this is actually manufactured by Pelican. Okay. This one's $149. It is a pretty good size case. It looks pretty friggin' solid. Rugged protection, crush proof, high impact polymer, heavy duty handles, push button latches, and stainless steel lock clasps for the ultimate and affordable firearms protection. Weather resistance, affordable. Okay. $149, but for the size of it, it does seem to offer pretty good value. This one is 39 inches long and 17.65 inches deep, I guess you could say. 6.5 inches wide. Dude's just throwing the back of his truck. That's me right there. Picture of me. I wish that was my Chevy. But anyway, so these look pretty good. Yeah.
Pelican makes me...
Squib, what's that again? You kind of cut out, buddy.
Yeah, I've been trying not to unmute because I keep driving through these bad cells. Must not be a good cellular day in Michigan.
That's okay, man.
By Pelican makes me think that it's possibly they're having it made overseas by a third party and putting their name on it, and that's why it's a more affordable version. Does it say for sure if it's American made or imported?
I'm looking. That's a good point. Or I didn't know if this was just a particular line. They don't say. So you'd probably have to go to the company website. Yeah.
Yeah, if you want the Pelican engineering and the Pelican features, but you don't want to pay the Pelican price, this may be your option. If you're like a true patriot, you'll pay $100 extra. Merca.
Man, the prices on this thing are all over the place, too. Good God. Wow. Looking at the prices on it.
I was about to say something similar to that. Like, if it doesn't say U.S. made on it, it's not going to be made here in the U.S. if it's not in the descriptions.
We'd have to check the Pelican website. They might not even have this on the Pelican website either. So, yeah. Interesting. And there's a lot of questions in there that somebody might ask that question too. Looks like they make a whole line of it. They've got a whole couple different sizes you can get. Ammo boxes, pistol cases, rifle cases. So, all right, so you got that as an option. Okay, let's see what else we got here. And then we've got the Harbor Freight, their version of Pelican again, the large Apache case. So this is $159. But the thing is, I noticed on some of these Apache ones, like their prices are getting pretty close to Pelican or Plano. So, if you do want to go USA made, you do have an option that isn't going to be much more, if not the same, as what they're getting for these cases that you see right here. So this is 160. This one's from Harbor Freight. They've got a shotgun, a rifle, a couple pistols in there. It's a pretty good size case. It's got the pressure relief valve. Yeah.
And a lot of difference between the Plano or Pelican versus this stuff is the quality of the latches, quality of the hinges, quality of the plastic.
Yeah, is it flimsy? Is it rigid?
Right.
This one does have wheels built into it, which is kind of nice. You can grab the handle on the top and you can roll it behind you. It says heavy duty ball bearing wheels. So this airline travel, this would probably work as long as you've got your 2 locking points on it, which it looks like you do.
This would work. Yeah,
this has got your, there you go. Oh, metal reinforced paddlocking on it. Here's your wheels.
But, something that, for, airline travel, look into other stuff. Look into a cello case, stuff that looks like a cello case, stuff that doesn't scream firearms.
Oh, we're getting there. We're getting there. We got the gray man options next. So I've got a couple of them here. So let's go into gray man options. So gray man is a person that can operate in an environment and not draw any attention to themselves. Defense Dad is a perfect example of a gray man because you would never think that man is heavily armed. So this is funny. Wilson Advantage tennis bag series. Okay, so tennis bags to transport your SBRs and your AR and AK pistols. Here's the best part about it. So you're looking at a tennis bag. Go into the answered questions, and I didn't post this question. First question: is this bag big enough for my Yugo M70 AK-47 underfolder and 2 30-round mags? It's hilarious. So if you want to see if it's going to fit your rifle or your pistol or whatever, just type it in the search box on Amazon. And any questions that are related to the keyword that you're using, it'll link up with it. So, and then of course he gets an answer with it. So, I mean, a lot of people want to buy these tennis bags because you got that concealability of it. The fact you can fit an SBR in here or an AR pistol. So, what do you guys think about this? The tennis bag. What's your thoughts on this, guys?
I think if my big old butt was carrying that, it'd be standing like a sore thumb.
That's why you need the ukulele case, man. I'm telling you. Nobody's going to think twice and think, oh, the guy plays the violin or the guy plays the banjo or the ukulele,
Well, I mean, that or, if you have kids around, you're carrying your kid's case.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Yep. So this guy is
you're going in and out of hotels.
Yeah. So 39.61. Of course, if it's like January, well, I guess you could play indoors at certain places for tennis, but M. Gabriel says a cello case is hardly gray, man. Well, yeah, I know. Unfortunately, people might start asking you questions about playing cello, or you run into a fellow cellist that starts talking cello with you, and you don't know how to respond. Let's see. M. Gabriel says Pelican is warranted for life. Mario says Vault. I've seen those being used by local law enforcement. Kingpin's got the best suggestion. Put 2 straps on a 64 gun safe and carry it on your back. Got to be ready at all times. Exactly. So M. Gabriel says 36 inches is too big for your current vehicle. What are you driving? Well, like the case, the width of the case, I've got a Hyundai Kona, and it's got a fairly small back seat. So when that case is in there, I think it just hits the door trim because the doors have armrests that, come in. And then the cases are longer than 36 inches. 36 inches is the usable space, but then there's the tactical padding around it and the straps and stuff. So sometimes like a long hard case doesn't necessarily fit in the back seat of my car. So, yeah, I've just got a Hyundai Kona that I drive, all-wheel drive. Now, Blot75 says, what if you clearly don't play tennis? Well, it doesn't matter. Again, it's just a way to safely get your AR pistol or your SBR from one place to the other and not drawing any attention.
That's what I was getting at, because if anybody's seen my videos know me carrying a tennis case is out of place.
I don't know, man. I've seen some pretty wide girth people playing tennis before. So.
I am not nimble.
Tell them that you play pickleball. Tell them you play your pickleball player.
You don't have to be nimble. If you're just starting out, you don't have to be nimble.
All right, the next one, we've got the Peak Case AR Pistol Covert Multi-Gun Violin Case. It's $155. It's got kind of a semi-durable, like the outside of it's going to be semi-rigid. It's like a nylon reinforced foam basically, but it does have a little bit of a hard shell structure to it. This one probably not going to work for airline travel, but again, if you travel locally or travel with a vehicle, you got a lot of options here for the foam. You can basically make it fit your pistol. Says inside dimensions are 32.5 inches long by 13.5 inches wide, 4 inches deep. YKK zippers, that's a pretty good brand. 7.5 pounds. And then when you go into the questions, people are probably going to ask questions. Yeah, will this fit in it with an attached Sig Romeo 5? Yeah, and again, that's just the thing is the height. You have to watch out for that.
Well, that's when you take an X-Acto knife or pocket knife and cut out for your optic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can go into the images that the customers show, and you can see how people make this work. So how this doesn't fall? Oh, I guess it's 2 layers. That's right. You got the AR on the top and the pistol on the bottom. Yeah. Because I was thinking if you're going to close it, it's going to flop over and hit it, but it's not. These are 2 different layers in the same case. So it's like a sandwich style. I like how the guy takes his violin case to the range,
Hey, you play sweet, sweet music with the contents.
Is this a T-ball? Is that like a T thing, or is that for a microphone? I can't tell what that is. It looks like a tea, like you put your tea in it or something to steep it. I don't know.
The description says it's a dehumidifier ball.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, what is the tea bag thing? Okay, gotcha. The dehumidifier ball is a nice touch. Okay, there you go. Cool. All right, so that is one option to go the gray man route if you want to. The violin case isn't too